Hi Aries, welcome to your mid-July 2020 General Tarot Update. It's Rena here. So I had a disruption and I had to start over again, and that's fine. The heart of the matter is the Nine of Pentacles, and this is a card of financial independence. What does that mean to you in your life at this juncture? Some examples can be a couple who has gone their separate ways, marriage, cohabitation, and now instead of having two incomes that they are living with, they're living with one. So that's kind of an adjustment, but you're able to do it. Another example is someone who has left a job and they are maybe having some kind of a home-based business or, their own business, and now are turning enough of a profit that they're going to just stick with their own business. And the other possibility is just that that's one of your goals. In the past position, we have the 10 of Wands, but it's in the challenge position. So I have to make sure, because sometimes the swords and the wands in this deck look similar. And it looks kind of like, doesn't it kind of look like a black forest? It's funny, there's like an ominous appearance to this particular card in this deck, which happens to be the Wild Unknown Tarot deck, in case you were curious. And this can be a situation where there is a lot of, maybe you had to work overtime and it just took a lot out of you, and that was, now that you have achieved this goal, you're able to have more time for other things, because the 10 of Wands in general can be a very hard working, I don't know, a card of a lot of hard work and maybe putting a lot of energy into something. But sometimes that can take its toll. Even if there's success, you still have this energy drain and just an imbalance in life in general. And the higher message is the Seven of Pentacles. I've been getting this several times, and one of the things I have noticed or noted in prior readings for this series is that this does not follow the Rider-Waite depiction of the Seven of Pentacles, which is the farmer's card and showing the farmer with his crops. But look at the ascension of the Pentacles. So it's really about watching it grow, watching it advance. And the reason I think this is so ingenious is it's like kind of depicting it in a totally different way. And basically what this card represents is, I think especially if you have started your own business and you have to be patient, which is not something that Aries does naturally. Is naturally suited for is patience. You're very, very passionate about life, so you want to see things as soon as possible. You're eager, and that's not bad in many ways, because that enthusiasm can generate a lot of good things as well. It's just that you might have a tendency sometimes to jump from one thing to the next. Once you've started one thing, do something else if you don't get that payoff right away. And this is about waiting for the payoff. With the Nine of Pentacles, that certainly is on your mind. If you have not achieved it yet, that's your goal. But you have to allow for things to unfold in their own time. You can't push them. And so that might be what the spiritual message is trying to teach you is to be able to nurture whatever it is that you're doing, but not to try to be premature with it or anything like that. What crosses you is the Fool card, and this is that absolutely new beginning, which you love new beginnings, Aries. And what a great depiction. What the colors, yellow, it looks like, I guess it's kind of orange or red. So those are colors that I would associate with the spring, the newness of life. What you represent in a lot of ways, even though this card isn't connected to you, you represent that new path that you're on, and something is standing in the way of that right now. It could be timing issues. Perhaps you have to get all your ducks in a row, and that requires a bit of maybe even letting go of some things that are from the past that you're trying to distance yourself from, any transition that you have made from an old way of being. But pressing that reset button is still in the future for you. One more thing too that I want to note about the Fool card, which is kind of important, is that it's also connected to the idea of doing your own thing. And Aries people, by and large, are going to be totally on board with that way of thinking about life. However, if you're the kind of person who, you might be an Aries on paper, but for whatever reason, whether you have other placements that make it so that you are much more wanting to be accepted by others, you want that approval. Moon in Libra, or you're more traditional. Moon in Capricorn, Moon in Cancer. And you have these strong feelings, or rising signs like that, and you've been conditioned this way that you kind of don't trust things that are outside of the box. Those Aries people will find it hard to, even if you have your own business, to really believe in yourself, because you think that it's not legitimate unless it's making a certain amount of money, unless other people are acknowledging it and things like that. I think that the Fool is not only interested in having a new adventure, but they don't have this preconceived notion of what that's going to be, and they don't care. That's the important thing. They don't care. They're just interested in the journey. I remember there was a man who was teaching meditation that I was going to he and his wife's classes in their apartment. And I remember one time we were going to go to the store or something like that. And he said, let's go in the car. But they lived like within walking distance. And I said, I'm going to walk, because I loved walking. I've always loved walking. And he said, but you'll get there faster. And he was an Aries. He was like a classic Aries. He goes, you'll get there faster if we take the car. And, the funny thing with him is that he was on the cusp of Taurus, but Aries is such a powerful sign that it really does bleed through, even if somebody is on the cusp with Taurus. And I said to him, it's the journey, not the destination. I said, it's the same with meditation. And I think he was kind of sheepish, because it's funny, he was teaching meditation, but he was still impatient to get to his destination. And it's like, on one level, it's absurd. because it's like, wow, now I'm here faster. Now what? I often see that when I see cars going really fast, and then they are speeding, and then they run into a red light. And it's like, well, you were speeding for what reason? You're still going to have to slow down eventually. And what are you doing it for? So what's coming in is the Star card, and this is, I think sometimes this can be having your dreams come true also. But it's, I think the most important thing that this card represents is the idea of believing in unseen forces, which means that you're not judging everything by what's in front of you and deciding whether or not it's true because it's in front of you. I think fire signs like Aries are visionaries, and they have the ability to dream big dreams. Dreaming itself, and I'm not talking about when you're asleep, but you know, envisioning certain things for yourself takes that kind of faith that things will unfold, even though you have no guarantees, it's not in front of you. And for that reason alone, I find it to be very exciting, because it means that there's potential for something amazing to happen. I'm a Sagittarian, that's another fire sign, and the other fire sign is Leo. And this card is also connected to Aquarius, so that might be somebody who helps you to achieve your dreams, who is, if this is a new relationship, for instance, perhaps you want to start your whole life. It's like pressing that reset button in every area of life, but you just can't do so at this moment. But you can, what you can do is you can set intentions. You can have things that you want to come to pass. And that alone can be helpful in kind of figuring out what those things are. And then the outcome card is the Wheel of Fortune, which is the card of luck, Lady Luck, smiling on you. But this is, I think, in a higher sort of way, this is also talking about alignment, which means that sometimes, you know, this is a card of cycles in life. And this is why I was bringing up the Fool card in the challenge positions, because even if you want to do things to start over again, for you, you may even want to relocate, and it might not be exactly the right time for that. There might be a couple more things that you need to take care of before you can truly do that. And the Wheel of Fortune is about respecting cycles, understanding that these things happen in their own divine time. And so again, patience is important. The Wheel of Fortune connects to Jupiter. Jupiter is in Capricorn, and it's actually in retrograde. And, you know, maybe this is also about that, about the retrogrades, because even Mars is going retrograde this year. And Mars is in your sign. Oh, I didn't even think about that. There you go. Mars is in your sign, so Wheel of Fortune, divine timing, things coming together for you, maybe being in the right place at the right time. And so in any case, I hope that you enjoyed this, Aries. If you would like a personal reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.